let's go back to talking about the virtual wellness program that you
Mhm.
offer, separate from treatments that you do offer in your office.
Yeah. Um, so with our wellness program, we break this down into what we call our 5 pillars of health. So that's fitness, nutrition, detox, mentoring, and hormones. So I really like to look at it as 4 things with one person coaching you through them. So if we look at fitness, there is a massive amount of misinformation. Really, I'm going to say this for all of these. There's misinformation around each point, and having that correct mentor or coach to educate you on the misinformation and maybe some of the small missteps that you've been making, and then to how to make that correction with someone that's already seen success in these realms. So like for fitness, massive amount of misinformation because people are just selling results. But we want to teach you how to stimulate your body to make that change. The other thing too is, as an individual person, if you just go on Google and you research something that worked for someone else may not work at all for you. It may be really dangerous for you. So we have to look at where you're at right now and what the goals are and make something that's appropriate. I'm going to kind of describe how each one of these things ties in, because if I've actually taught you, and maybe you're frustrated in the past that your exercise or fitness routine has not created the changes that you want. So then the second thing we look at is the nutrition. Are you fueling your body with foods that can provide growth and repair? And then if you are doing that, have you detoxed? So are your organs capable of taking in proper nutrition and creating those changes in your body? Because if you've had the worst diet in the world for 20 years, and then this week I teach you how to eat healthy, there's still a lot of damage that's happened to your organs in the past. And we need to give your organs some time off so that they can actually heal and make that change. So that's how we go through that detox portion. And then the last one, and what to me is probably the least looked at and what can be the biggest frustration for most people, is hormones, because that's the one where you really have to take a proactive step. Like you need to get some blood work, you have to get a swab, you have to get some type of testing so we can see where those levels at. Where everything else, like fitness, you're kind of using the mirror as your guide. Nutrition, you're looking at your scale. Each of these other pieces, the detox, maybe you've done some type of cleanse in the past, but we have to put everything together the right way to make that detox really efficient, and then look at the hormones to see where your levels are at. Because if you're really overstressed and your cortisol is super high, we're not going to make a change in your body. So if you have the best diet, you have gone through that detox, and you're having this amazing workout program, you're still not going to see a change. So by looking at those 4 components and then getting you with a right coach or mentor that's had success in those areas, we guide you through this program. So if you're going through this virtually or in person in the office, the first thing that we get started with is sitting down and understanding like what you're trying to change. So I would ask, if you have a loved one or a spouse, to have them sit down as well. We take an hour of time to really get down to what's going on with you, what your goals are, and we kind of paint that picture together of like, this is where I'm at right now in life, this is where I'd like to be, because I want to be able to spend time with MJ and be healthy and be around and be active and not just be like awake, right? Or same thing, your parents want to interact with their grandkids. And this goes for a lot of patients. We want to not just be alive, but you want to be able to interact. So that visit is determining that. What does that mean for you? Is that going to visit someone in Europe and you just want to be active, or be able to get on that plane and do that type of travel? Because maybe you're not healthy enough to do something like that, or to stay away from your home because you're dependent on all these machines that keep you going. So we determine whatever that is, and we paint that end destination. So we're all on the same page. And then I take that back to my team, and together we create the plan to get there. So we put in each piece that you need so we can actually get to that end destination. And then basically when you come back, we'll go over that plan, whether this is virtual or in person. I'll lay out the plan that the team and I have come up with, and then we'll get going on that. And the first thing we'll do is order the supplements for you. And basically the supplements that we use, we work with a lab or a company called Zymogen, and that's one of the purest labs in this whole country. That's something else we can talk about, but like kind of get what you pay for, especially when it comes to supplements. And we talk with patients about this a lot too, because you can always find a cheaper supplement, but just know that they had to skimp on something. And what do you want your body to be built of? Cheap stuff or good stuff? So when we start with the supplements, that's to reduce the inflammation in your body. And we also introduce some good gut bacteria. So we can start to build that foundation in your gut. And that'll last you about 30 days. And then we'll change the supplements a little bit where we actually increase the good bacteria and we still trying to decrease the inflammation a little bit. We also prep your body to kind of go through the detox. So simultaneously, when we first order the supplements, you're going to start working through an online curriculum where you will actually learn about nutrition. So we'll teach you, what are good carbs, what are bad carbs, when do I have fat, and what makes fat good, and what can be bad about fat. How do I shop in the grocery store? How do I go around it? So we're educating you on every part of that, and that's kind of the first step, really, in empowering that patient. For that fitness component, that's completely dependent on you and where you're at. We do have another program. This is kind of beta phase, but we're working on right now called Fix Fitness, where we'll have a much more direct, like you're going to follow this exact program. Right now, we customize that to the individual, and their coach works with them one-on-one to take care of the fitness needs. And then the hormones, we typically do like a cardiometabolic profile and a couple other like base tests to see where you're at. But again, that becomes specific to that client. We have a few base tests we do with everyone, but like I shared before we kind of got into this, depending on the severity, it might be a lot of tests for that person. And that would be built into that program. So I think that describes in my longest short-winded answer.
No, that was awesome.